I wanted to talk to you about what I see as the kiss of death for any business or relationship or fitness. But hey, nobody's perfect. And I was having a conversation with the CEO the other day, and I was listening to this person, and I could just sort of see it, that this person was preparing to lose. And so it got me thinking about the discomfort with high performance. And what I see that is this, those people who are sort of dedicated to higher performance, they always have to be striving to be better. And they have to always be preparing to be better and expecting to do more and to be better. And while we know not everybody, we know no one's perfect, and that's totally good. The challenge really comes though, when we decide that we're no longer going to expect perfection. And let me give you some examples as what I mean. For those of you who are golfers, this will make a lot of sense for you, but this really relates to whatever, like it doesn't matter. But in the golf world, most of us have had that moment where we're playing golf, everything's going really well. And it usually happens on the 13th or 14th hole. All of a sudden we figure out, holy smokes, I'm doing way better than I expected. And that moment is when it all changes. And from that moment forward is when things begin to fall apart. And for those of you that know what I'm talking about, no judgment, it's happened to me, right? Double bogeyed all the way in. Same thing happens in business though, right? Like whether that be on your phone calls, every single phone call that you make, and all of a sudden, like every single one turns into an appointment. Or maybe you had this incredible quarter and you start looking at the numbers and you start seeing, oh my gosh, this is where I'm trending, or this is where I'm tracking. And all of a sudden, that's where everything begins to crater. I guess the question is, why is that? And the reason is because you're outperforming your expectations. You didn't expect it to be that good. So it creates this really interesting relationship behind what your expectations are and what your outcomes are. So we can look at those people and we know who they are, right? They're the ones that have that sort of weird obsession about winning, right? They have this uncanny ability to win. And the truth of the matter is they expect to win. They expect to be perfect. They plan for it. By the way, like I get that in society today, it seems like in a lot of places, that's not PC, to want to win or maybe to win and be all excited about the fact that you won. It is okay to win, and it's okay to want to win. The downside to this whole this perfection talk is that every time someone who is expecting perfection goes out into the world, whether that be in their fitness or their family or their relationships or their business, they are destined to fail in some capacity, right? Because nobody's perfect. That's the downside of this whole deal. There's a book, I don't know if you guys have read this, but I love this book. It's called A Good Walk Spoiled. And basically I think it's John Feinstein. I think I'll look that up and I'll put that in the notes. But it's this walk behind the ropes and inside the minds, essentially, of Tom Kite, Tom Watson, Nick Price, the Shark, Greg Norman. And it's specifically about how their mind works and how they are pursuing perfection always. And it's the good and the bad. Even when we win, if your expectation is to be perfect, you will fail. It's just part of it. So here's a couple of things that I would just ask that you would think about as you go into your world and you develop your expectations and you develop your plan around your expectation, and then you begin to execute on that plan. We've all heard the saying, right? Aim for the stars, hit the moon. That works. It's okay. The moon's a good place to be, right? But the truth of the matter is those people who are winning and winning big, like that 1%. I'm not talking about the masses. I'm talking about the 1%. They're the ones that are there early. They're the ones that stay late. There are countless stories about Ben Hogan winning a tournament, right? And then going straight to the range because there were some things that weren't just right. He just needed to get just a little bit better. He was good enough to beat everybody in the field, but he needed to hone his craft just a little bit more. So we get to decide, and it's a tough decision. Would you rather expect perfection, fail at perfection and win, or would you rather expect less than perfection, succeed at less than perfection, but lose? We get to make that decision ourselves, but let there be no mistake. We will get that which we expect, and that is for your business, that is for your life, that is for your relationships, that is for your marriage, you name it. Like, you fill in the blank. You can have more, but you first have to expect more.